Right, so this week has been one of those weeks that I talk about where I'm really too busy and I could have quite easily found an excuse to not produce a video. But like I say, I said it in last week's video that I'm going to do this, so now it's out in the open that I'm going to do it. I have to do it. The video's obviously a couple of days late due to last week finishing a little bit late, if I'm honest. This is one of those weeks that every detailer gets at some point, and every detailer dreads it when they get it, because there's no easy way of getting around it other than you're literally working into the night and working weekends. We had a couple of maintenance jobs on last week. In fact, we had quite a lot of maintenance jobs on last week. It was our busy maintenance week. We have 1 week a month where we do quite a block of maintenance. And on those weeks, I usually try and book out a couple of sort of easier jobs for us as well, that aren't very time consuming, just to make sure that we have enough time to do the maintenance and do what should be some easy work as well. So last week we started the week with a BMW M4. This was booked in for a new car protection detail. But when it arrived, it wasn't a new car. It had done 5,000 or 6,000 miles, had quite a bit of sort of grime and dirt in all the places that you wouldn't expect a new car to have, and it was also quite swirly in places and a couple of defects that needed sorting out. That one didn't throw us out too much. It put us about half a day behind in the week. As you can see in the video here, we obviously cleaned it as usual, decontaminated it, got it inside, ended up doing a sort of 1.5 to 2 stage polish, if you will, to get it right. A few places needed a little bit of extra work. Most of it was okay with just a slightly more aggressive polish than we'd usually use on a new car, but we could still do a single stage. We then ceramic coated all the areas: the paint, glass, wheels, leather, fabrics. It was in for, like I say, it was in for the full package. So that had the Gyeon Infinite coatings on the exterior, Gyeon rim on the wheels, view on the glass, leather shield and fabric shield on the interior. The next car was brand new, absolutely brand new. Drove just from Manchester to us. The car was pretty much clean, but obviously we still cleaned it, decontaminated it, brought it inside, and then that's when the drama started. As you can see, there was some quite heavy paint defects. You wouldn't expect this type of thing on a brand new car. Obviously it's there, we need to fix it before we ceramic coat it. this black Tesla, the new Model Y, was the weirdest paint I've ever worked with. Well, I've worked with paint like this before, but luckily enough, not very often. It was extremely soft, but extremely hard at the same time, if that makes sense to anyone. The defects that were in it weren't removed easily, which would indicate hard paint. But as we were polishing it, we were putting a lot of marring into the paint with the polish and the pads and the compounds. So that would indicate soft paint. So it was, the defects were getting removed as it was hard, but we were putting defects in like it was soft. Very strange paint to work with. So after quite a few combinations and techniques, we managed to get it right in the end. But this one actually added, it was booked in for 3 days for our new car protection package. It ended up taking us 5 days. And as you can imagine, the only way to find those 2 extra days is by working your weekends or working evenings, or a combination of the two. I'm sure every other detailer that's watching this can relate to this one at some point. It doesn't matter how well you plan your days and your diaries. If something goes wrong, we don't allow extra days on the other end of it with no work booked in to be able to fix the cars. So you have to find those hours somewhere, and when things like this go wrong, you're finding days, not just hours. But that's part of the job. It's you win some, you lose some, I suppose. Every now and then we get a car in that is actually easier for us to do than we first expected. It's quite rare, but it happens. So anyway, we did this one. We ended up using a combination of Gyeon compound plus on wool in the end to get rid of the marks, and then found, instead of stepping it down to compound and polish and then onto primer, we stepped it straight back onto Roots yellow with polish, and that actually brought the paint up 90% defect free. And then it just needed a quick go over with a white Roots pad and Gyeon primer just to sort of perfect it. And then even once the paint was done and we'd got it to a level we were happy with, a level that a new car should be at, we had trouble prepping the car because the paint was so soft you literally couldn't put any pressure on it. So we were using brand new cloths, blowing the panels to make sure they were free of any dust before we prepped them. So that was a bit of a process, and then the car was fought with us at every step. So even after we prepped it, we came to coat it. This was in for Gyeon Infinite coatings as well. The new Infinite coatings are really easy to use, and you can do a couple of panels at a time before taking them off, unless it's a Tesla. So we did a couple of panels, put it on, and it was just sticking in places. It was leaving high spots. It just wasn't playing ball with us. So I ended up machine polishing the front end of the car again to fully remove the coatings. Came in on Sunday and had to recoat the car just in small sections at a time, which worked out perfectly. And the car, as you can see here now, looked great when it was finally finished. It was just one of those jobs that made us pull our hair out. But that was in for, like I say, wheels were rimmed, glass was viewed, the paintwork had Infinite on it, the leather, or the vegan leather that's in a Tesla, was treated with leather shields, and the fabric was treated with fabric guard. So brand new car, fully protected, giving it its best start in life. So that was week 2. It's like I say, went horribly wrong for me, went horribly wrong for the lads that work here, but we've managed to put a quick video together. It might be a bit quicker this one, just because of how it went. Fingers crossed week 3 goes a bit better. Thanks for watching, see you later, bye.